This is my presentation on objectification of women in country music. But first, to define objectification. It's the act of degrading someone to the status of a mere object, as the Oxford Dictionary defines it. Some effects of objectification from Alyssa Herndon, who has a sociology degree from the University of Central Florida, says that objectification has negative effects on the way that women view themselves, and they often see themselves as objects rather than people. Peter Fisher, with a PhD from Washington University, and Tobias Griedemeyer, with a PhD and professor of psychology, found that sexualizing lyrics can have harmful effects on listeners and even called for censorship of some lyrics. Teresa Treat, along with a group of researchers from the University of Iowa, found that specific lyrics can harm men's viewpoints on how women display interest or affection and can lead to accidental harassment because they just simply aren't aware of their actions. Alyssa Kleensink, with a Master of Arts, found that 68 out of 100 songs had objectifying themes in 2018, as found on the Billboard year-end chart of country music. And she used this to back up her claim that all forms of media contain rampant sexualization, such as sexual objectification. And she even found that media may be the most significant source of sexualization, especially for adolescents. In a current study in 2019, Senate Pruitt from Georgia State found that the current era of bro country is more masculine-oriented and more likely to objectify women than songs from prior decades did. And this is seen as from a chart from Billboard showing that in 1965, only 8% of country music songs had the theme love and devotion, and in 2015, 55% had the theme love and devotion. This is concerning because many of those love and devotion songs contain themes of objectification. Dr. Nancy Jones, with an education from the University of South Carolina in sociology, found that in 2022, 63.4% of male songs contained sexualizing themes. And she used this to back up her claim that in many contemporary country songs, women can still be vilified and portrayed as incompetent or irrational. This leads me to my gap. Senate Pruitt at Georgia State University found that country music is a successful and influential genre within mainstream music, and yet very little attention has been paid to it as a culturally influential force. All of these concerns have led me to my research question, because besides Anna Rogers' 2013 study, which connects objectification and country music, there are no other research studies connecting these themes. This leads me to my research question: how is female objectification displayed on the Billboard Hot 100 country charts? My methodology. For my methodology, I will be using a content analysis. According to the University of Columbia, a content analysis is a research tool used to determine the presence of certain words, themes, or concepts within given qualitative data. And Carroll, in 2015, found in a research study on how to obtain music data, found that questions can be answered using statistics associated with the most recognized measure of record popularity, the Billboard Hot 100. The Billboard Hot 100 is a year-end chart containing the most popular songs of the year, and it can be genre-specific, so I will be using the country music year-end chart. We found that Billboard became a market maker and reporter because it includes sales, streams, and airplay. My personal methodology, I will be using the same as my example study, Anna Rogers' study in 2013, and the range is the top 50 songs on each specific year sung by male or featuring male artists. I chose to exclude songs sung by women because my example study did not include it, and also because women most of the time don't objectify other women. And I'm going to be using a range of 30 years, 1993 to 2023, because it is a 10-year extension of my example study. I'm going to define objectification the same as Anna Rogers did. There are 9 categories that make up objectification: traditional gender roles, slang words, women's worth is determined by her appearance, female pronouns when referring to objects or ideas, women as a group with sexual stereotypes, women as objects, strippers or other sex workers, forcing sexual acts or violence against women in a positive manner. For my content analysis, I will be using keywords under a specific category to help ensure that my objectification is valid. I'm using definitions to ensure that they are used in the right context, and especially for words with multiple definitions. And all my definitions will be from dictionary.com. For my data collection, I'll be using an Excel spreadsheet for my data. That will include the data: how many references of objectification, which category, lyric and keyword, place on Billboard chart, name of song and artist, and the year on Billboard chart. For an example, this is my gender and number on chart. This is the name of the song. This is the name of the artist. These are the 9 categories. This is the lyric, and these are the keywords that I use to define objectification. And this is the total references. And I will use this data and methodology to help answer my question: how is female objectification displayed on Billboard Hot 100 country charts? And these are my works cited.
Okay, and Sophie, how would you describe the significance of the gap you've identified?
So initially, when I was researching, I knew I wanted to do something with objectification and music, and I was looking at all the studies out there, and there were a lot about rap music, especially because that's definitely like the #1, but there were so many studies about rap music. I felt that there wasn't enough of a research gap there. So that's why I decided to focus on country music, because as Senate Pruitt said, country music is definitely overlooked when data is being gathered. So there definitely is not a lot of research out there. So I felt that by analyzing objectification within country music, I could really add something to the body of knowledge.